Welcome back to another episode of Unconventional with Ken Duchamp. My name is Ken Duchamp, and today I am joined by a very great friend of mine. She is an actress, a model, and an advocate for the deaf community. This is Brittany. Brittany, would you like to say hello?
Hi, my name is Brittany. Nice to meet you.
So, Brittany, if you want to just give everyone a quick rundown about who you are, what it is that you do.
So, I am an actress. I am a deaf advocate, model. I make contents, advocating for my deaf community. I'm hard of hearing. I'm partially deaf. I wear hearing aids. I speak English and I know sign language. So yeah, that's who I am.
So, I guess let's explain to the audience really quick what um what exactly is the deaf community. For a lot of people, they didn't even know there's a community. There's hard of hearing. I guess can we dive deep a little bit more into that?
So there is a big deaf community in big cities like LA, DC, New York. We have a wide range of, different kinds of deaf. There's spectrums of deaf. We have, slightly, has a slight hearing loss or more severe or moderate or profoundly. Again, different levels of hearing loss. But yeah, we do have a community for the deaf. We have a school, we have a language, we have culture, and it's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. And yeah, and that's what I want. I want the world to see that. So I try to advocate for myself and for my community as much as I can. I'm very passionate about this. I'm passionate about talking about this, spreading awareness so that you guys can learn about us and the deaf community and how you can help the community and advocate for us as well.
What was it that made you want to come out to LA? Since now that you're out here, I think you've been out here for quite a few years now, right?
Yeah, I've been out here for about 3 to 4 years. I moved out here because from where I'm from, Vegas, Las Vegas, it's a pretty small deaf community. I've been mainstream most of my adult life. And I feel like Vegas, I didn't feel very connected to the community. It was just really small. I didn't feel like it was a strong support. So I, for some reason, just felt like LA was calling my name, and LA is right there. It's only 4 hours away. And I know there's so many deaf
Hmm.
people out there, and there's deaf talent. And, I see deaf actors. I'm seeing more and more, you know, deaf influencers on social media. And so all of that really inspired me to say, hey, you know what? There's something for me in LA. I want to meet other people who are like me. I want other people to understand me,
Hmm.
I want to meet another me,
Yeah,
or,
like
there's just something about that.
there.
And that's the
So yeah,
community.
yeah,
That's the
having a community. Yeah,
community. That's finding real connection with people who are out there who go through the same thing you go through, and no one else will understand that but you and that person. And so, just something was calling me, and I did. I came out here and
right.
I met so many people, so many backgrounds, just very diverse, and it's nothing I've ever experienced in Vegas, unfortunately. I mean, it's beautiful. They both have their differences.
I,
Yeah.
I think it's so important to have a community. I think it's so important to have a community. I so I grew up and definitely they're two totally different things, but I grew up in an Asian community, right? So I grew up
Mm.
out in SoCal, and I always took it. I think I took it for granted just how nice it is to be able to grow up with a lot of people who looked exactly like me, who could relate to a lot of the issues that I might have had at school, who could relate to a lot of things that I dealt with. Um, because I still have a decent amount of like Asian American friends, but a lot of them have come from other communities, right? In different areas, in different communities, you're treated differently. And I think that being able to have people in your life who've been through exactly what you've been through or something similar, someone that you can go to and you can relate to and chat with, I think that's so important, especially as a human being, to be able to have that connection. And so I do think it's great that you're out here, that you found your community, and that you're continuing to advocate for that as well.
Always, always, yes.
So I guess how has your journey been out here since you've been out here in LA so far?
I definitely feel like I've grown a lot.
You have, yeah,
I've grown a lot.
yeah.
I used to be so insecure and so like, my story, I feel bad for me, but no, I really grown from that. I feel like now I love everything about it. I love everything about my disability, my hearing loss. I love how different I am. I love the community. I love, you know, it's it's just, I've grown to love who I am. And that happened because I came out here and I got rooted into my community and I, wanted to find my identity in myself and who I am. And I think that's what I'm so grateful for moving out here to LA because I've gotten to find myself, find my identity. I've grown. Um, and I'm very confident about it now. I used to be so ashamed of it, and now I'm like, oh, I could go back and hug the little Brittany who thought it was just embarrassing and so shameful about it. No, it's like the best thing ever.
As
It
as you
really is.
as you become older, I feel like you start to recognize, especially when you have those communities, that those are things that you want to gravitate to. Things that make you different, you want to gravitate to. You don't want to step away because it's a part of who you are,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So why would you want to pull away from it when at the end of the day, whether it's a personality trait or a physical disability, there are things that are who you are, and you gotta lean into that more, and especially find that community. If you can find a community that can back you up in that, the world is essentially like your oyster. You can do pretty much anything you want at that point. Um, but, um,
Yeah.
I think it's been really cool with, everything that you've been doing too. You said you just finished a show recently as well,
Yep,
right?
I just finished working on a show, season 4. That's wrapped. So right now I'm just freelancing it. Next month I'm gonna go to Deaf Expo. I'm really excited about that. That's gonna be in Vegas. So we're gonna have deaf people all around the world. They're gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna go network, meet some other deaf talent, some other deaf influencers. And if you're interested, please come. It'll be July, I think, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, if I'm correct.
And where was that again? Where is it gonna be at?
In Las Vegas.
Okay. That's another cool thing, is that you've actually connected with a lot, so a part of your community is a lot of other deaf influencers, right?
Oh yeah.
That's so cool, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I love it. There's so many creative, deaf talent people out here, like so many people.
how did you, get connected with some of them, if you don't mind me asking?
Social media, they find me, I find them.
DMing and stuff
That's
like
one
that?
thing I'm grateful for is for social media because sometimes it helps you find your people. It helps you find your
I
community.
I do think that it helps us find, like, the groups of people, communities. You can relate to a lot more people a lot easier, right? It can be good.
Takes you away from
It can be good and it can be bad. It can be good and it can be bad, but a lot of times it's just interesting the way that it's like a tool. You still have to put yourself out there, right? But it's like,
exactly dating, right?
yeah,
I mean, are you ever gonna find somebody if you stay home all the time?
I don't know. I'm trying it, but
That's me. I never come outside my house ever. So it's like you're never gonna find anyone, Brittany, if you always stay home all
okay,
day.
all right, can we talk about the places that you've lived in out here? Oh, so I mean, just in general, a lot of people don't know this. When they hear LA, they think like big skyscrapers and all these, beautiful buildings, which is true if you're living in those big skyscrapers, right?
For no way.
Yeah, it's half the time though, like it's just LA's it's not the cleanest city around here, I'll say that. But more of where I was going with that is a lot of the apartments, and we're talking like $2,000, $3,000 a month, in that range. There's something wrong with the apartment half the time. Like there's if you
Yeah, that's true. The lower the rent is, the more problems you're gonna have.
even Orange County is pretty expensive too,
Yeah,
uh,
but it's nicer out there,
as a whole. Yeah, I like Orange County.
Yeah, it's way different than LA. They're two different things.
That's true.
That's an argument. People say no, you can't compare it. Orange County is Orange County. LA is LA.
Yeah, I like Orange County. Yeah. What era would you wanna settle in?
I could I if I could, well, the thing is, I feel like I have to be out here for work.
Yeah, I'm not done with
So
that
if
yet.
so like
It's
if I didn't have to worry about that, if money didn't matter, right? If money didn't matter and if I could live anywhere, I would like probably between San Diego and Irvine. Yeah, I haven't lived many places, just Utah, Salt Lake City, and then Vegas, and then now California. I thought about moving to Texas. I heard there's a big community there, a deaf community, DC.
Oh, I know there's a big, like, entertainment industry out there,
In
but
Texas?
Mhm,
Really? I
yeah.
kind of had a conversation about Texas, the film industry, kind of growing out there,
Yeah, at
right?
least it's growing, that I do know, but
So I thought about Texas or not Miami, Tampa, Florida, or DC. I think those are the places I would want to live if it's not here.
I really like Florida. I'm gonna be
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa Bay?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa.
I don't know. Is it Tampa Bay?
I
I don't
don't I
know.
don't know. I've only been to Orlando, Miami. But yeah, primarily Orlando because my family lives out there. So
Oh, we're in Florida?
yeah, in Orlando. So a big group of my family lives in Orlando. My dad grew up in Orlando, and then he moved to the he moved to the United States. He moved to the United States when he was 8 years old. He lived in Orlando.
The weather's perfect
Out here or in
in
Orlando?
Florida.
Really?
I like
Over
the
California?
weather. I the thing is with California, I'm still cold, and I can't get in the water at the
Well,
beach. It's
fair enough.
cold. I won't even put my foot in the water.
So
Like
yeah, you might like Florida.
Florida, you could just dive in the water. It's like perfect. It's not.
It's because like here, right? It'll be like hot, but then you can also go up to the mountains and still snowboard on the same day.
That's true, but I haven't done that yet.
You haven't snowboarded yet? Have you ever been injured growing up?
Never broke a bone.
Okay, that's good. I've never.
Injured? Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, no. So I was talking to my friend Clayton about this on the last podcast, which is that I feel like a lot of people have been injured growing up. I've been very fortunate. I've done everything. I've done every
You've
single
never been
sport.
injured?
I've never been injured. I've done
Not broken bones?
no broken bones or anything. And like I've ridden four wheelers. I've flipped a four wheeler. I've
But I got in a little accident.
yeah. I've played every single sport growing up, including football, including soccer. Never I skateboarded growing up too. Yeah, I've fallen like a million times.
That's
I've
crazy.
fallen off trees. I've fallen off the second story before, like growing up.
Fell off a roof.
Yeah, I've like a roof. Yeah, I fell off like a roof one time. Yes. Okay, so back to television. Have you found it difficult being a part of the community and looking for work and things like that out here?
Yeah, I feel like everywhere. I feel like there's still heavy discrimination against, disabled people. And
Mm.
when I tell people like I'm, partially deaf or I'm hard of hearing, it scares people who are not very aware or educated. And
Yeah,
because they're not aware or, pretty educated about it, it's just easier to just not give you that opportunity, or you know what I mean? Because people don't know, they get scared of liability. They get scared like, oh, well, what if she can't hear the customer? Or what if they're not going to follow the right instructions? Like, why are we paying this person? It is a lot of reasons why, and it's still there. The discrimination is still there. And that's why I advocate every day about this, is because my goal is to show the world what I can do with my hearing loss. And I overcame so many,
hmm
like, the jobs that I've had, the experience that I've had where I was able to work, and then later they're like, "Oh, we had no idea you're hard of hearing, Oh, you never, But then they're like, "Wow, like you're a hard worker, like you're really good." It's just not giving us that chance.
yeah,
And that's what I advocate for. And I always tell people, like, hiring deaf people is the best thing you could do for your business. I promise you. Why? Because there's a lot of people who have not experienced a deaf person. So, for example, like a restaurant, right? You never see a deaf server. Most of the time, if they do give a deaf a job at a restaurant, where do you think they are?
Why somewhere in the back.
They're in the
Yeah.
back washing dishes. I saw a post and it talked about, I forgot it was in Texas. It was some like country restaurant. And this deaf person, a deaf server, I should say, full deaf, and she left a laminated sign saying like, I am your server and I am deaf, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the family recorded the experience with the kids. And the server came with notepad and writing and learning sign language and teaching.
Yeah.
It's really amazing because it brings people to learn how to communicate with deaf people and see that deaf people can take my order too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could be my psychic, you know what I mean? You could be my server, like whether you could speak or not. There's a way to communicate. And it makes the whole experience interesting and amazing to me. And to see people, wow, deaf people can be a server too. Why are they in the back? Why are they washing dishes? No, they should be out there serving people. You know what? It's funny. I worked as a server for an event, and I asked, the people that hired me, hey, I have a deaf friend. She wants to, be a server. Can she work with me? Yeah, sure, So she came, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of going with it, and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Because I have, I read lips, I can talk, and then my other friend, she's full deaf, nonverbal. So I'm like, there's a way to do this. So I created like a menu on her phone of like the food and drinks, right? Like in order on her notes. And then at the very top, hi, my name is, what can I get for you? I put that in her phone and I said, hey, I want you to approach, make sure, do they want anything to eat? Do they want anything to drink? Approach them. She shows them the notes
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, like, and I'm watching far away the interaction.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, some was like thrown off, but then some was like, wow, you're deaf.
It's not that difficult.
Cool.
Well,
No, it's really not. Deaf people will find a way to communicate with you. If even if they find a way, like they have to work hard, 10 times harder than anyone else just to get attention from you, to communicate, to be a part of what's going on.
mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I do think that's my biggest dream in this life. If I could change anything in this world, is to open doors for deaf
Yeah.
people in every job, any industry. Open doors, hire them, give them a
Yeah.
cashier position, give them a waiter position, give them
The ability to have different
give
life experiences in every single possible position.
don't give them just
Don't just try like diversity hire and then just toss them in the back. Like,
like yeah. And I want people to open more doors, because we don't have enough deaf representation. We don't. And very little, it's getting better, but it's not enough because you got to think about how many deaf people there are out there.
yeah, yeah.
There's so many.
Who?
And it's just to be honest, you know, a lot of people are struggling financially because a lot of people don't want to open those doors for deaf people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. A lot has to rely on disability. They need support from the government because it's hard to get a job for them.
Because a lot of people don't want to take the risk or take. It's not even a risk. It's just the level of understanding is not even there.
They
But they don't
know
even.
what to do. Like they're gonna like look, oh, a hearing person or a deaf person. Who am I gonna hire? A hearing person, obviously. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's very rare they're like, oh, I want to hire a deaf person. No, like, it's very unfortunate. But again, what I do every day and how I advocate and how I have this conversation, I have it with everyone every day. I have this talk with everyone so that it opens their eyes and they're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna start hiring deaf. We want deaf on our team. That's what I want. I want to open doors. I want to inspire people to open doors. Because you see what I could do, so why Why can't they do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even me, I get very at times I'm limited because, again, discrimination, but I don't let that stop me. I keep
Mhm.
going, maybe I won't disclose it with you. You know what I mean? And you'll see what I could do.
Mhm.
Deaf people are very talented. And the fact is, we have to fight to be seen and heard since we were little. Trust me, there are so many talented deaf people that will prove you wrong. Prove you. But it's still, the problem's still there.
Because the door's not even
The
open.
door is not opening.
You've gotta, like, not you don't just have to open the door, you have to, like, make the door. You have to, like, literally make the place for it to be open.
You gotta be deaf friendly. You gotta, you know what I mean?
I think I personally really take it for granted too. Just a lot of the things that I feel like I've been able to do, the positions that I've been able to hold. Just like every day, even when I was a kid, when I used to work at like the fast food places I've worked at, right? Walked in, applied, got the job, and it's just would I have been able to get that position if I was if I was deaf or hard of hearing, right? Or had some other disability. There's just a lot that I think that take a lot for granted. Take a lot for granted.
it's sad. It's really sad because what can that disabled person do? They can't change that about themselves. They can just show you what they can do.
I love how passionate you are about this. Almost every single time that we've ever hung out, you always talk about this community that you're in, the changes that have happened, and I do think that this is you. It is you. It's not you are so involved and you're such a big advocate for it, and to see that you're so passionate about it as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ken.
Um, I guess so. I do have a question on this show. Is there any unconventional piece of advice, something a little bit different that you'd like to leave for the audience?
My advice to you is no matter how different you are or how odd or, you know, just be you and just be honest and be authentic. Just be authentic because I feel like being authentic will get you far in life because you're showing up as who you are, raw and unfiltered. So yeah, just be you, love yourself. And if you struggle in that, I really suggest you do self-development work, do your shadow work, learn to love yourself, pray, do your positive affirmation. Love yourself, be yourself, and life will be good to you once you start loving yourself and everything about you. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Ken's not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's
Definitely
perfect.
not. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Just love yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Taking the opportunity to always learn, right? Taking the opportunity to always learn. But yeah, I think we talked about it earlier too. Is that you always want to be genuine to who you are, and you can kind of get away with it for a little bit, especially when you're growing up. You're like, oh, I want to ignore that part of me. Maybe it's a disability, maybe it's a characteristic trait, maybe it's you even liking a certain type of music or something. Not being genuine to who you are, um, you wanna stay genuine because as you grow older, you're eventually gonna find a lot of happiness is gonna be tied to you just being true to yourself. And I think that if you kinda close that door, it's gonna take a little while for you to find that way back. And then once you do finally find your way back, you'll be like, "Oh, okay. Well, I should've just been like this the whole time." So, it doesn't mean you always have to be like that, but, you shouldn't you should stay true to yourself. I think that's such a so it's so cheesy, but it's really accurate, like exactly what you're saying. I really agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for watching this week's episode of Unconventional with Ken Duchamp. Brittany, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Ken.